He lurked in the woods, preyed on hiking trails, and displayed the evil that can be found in the wilderness of the human mind.
Have you ever passed someone on a hike and thought nothing of it? Just another traveler, nothing to fear, right? But what if that stranger hid a chilling secret? Gary Hilton did exactly that, stalking peaceful trails and leaving only fear.
I set the record. I'm the oldest serial killer in American history. Isn't that amazing?
This isn't just a true crime story, it's a warning. Today, we unravel the National Forest serial killer's chilling crimes, revealing how he turned mountains into deadly traps. Stay tuned, you'll never look at a hiking trail the same way again. The Friendly Stranger. On a quiet afternoon in Cherokee County, Georgia, a deputy sheriff pulls his car beside a white van parked deep in hunting land. It looks ordinary, a man with a backpack and a dog resting by his side. The deputy approaches without fear. The man greets him with a smile, speaking calmly, almost friendly. He explains he is only camping, just passing through, nothing more. His words sound harmless, his tone was even light. The officer asks for his identification. The man points to a small pack, assuring him there are no weapons inside. He moves slowly, almost careful to look trustworthy. The deputy believes him. To the officer, it feels like a simple case of trespassing, nothing serious. He lets the stranger continue his journey. What no one sees in that moment is the mask beneath the smile. The man in the van is not a traveler looking for rest. He is already carrying the weight of violence. He is a predator, moving freely in plain sight. And the trail of silence he leaves behind has only just begun. The Vanishing Nurse. In Tallahassee, Florida, December 2007 began like any other winter month. Cheryl Dunlap, a nurse and Sunday school teacher, is known for her warmth and steady kindness. She cares for her patients with patience, and she teaches her students about faith with sincerity. Friends describe her as gentle, devoted, and full of quiet strength. When she misses her Sunday class, people notice immediately. Cheryl is never late, never absent without a reason. By Monday, she does not appear at work either. Concern spreads quickly. A friend files a missing person report. Her son drives to her home, hoping to find her safe. Instead, he finds her dog waiting alone. The sight chills him. Cheryl never leaves her companion without making sure it is cared for. 2 days later, Cheryl's car is found near a park. The keys and purse are still inside. One tire has been pierced as if someone wanted her to stop there. The vehicle feels abandoned in a way that tells a darker story. Police begin to fear the worst. Cheryl's friends pray for her safe return. Her family waits for news, and the community starts to sense that something terrible has entered their world. A mask at the ATM. As investigators search for Cheryl, they uncover something unsettling. Her bank card is used several times in the days after she disappears. More than $700 is withdrawn. The money itself is not the detail that shocks them. It is the image caught on the security camera. The person at the machine is not Cheryl. It is a tall figure wearing a strange, homemade mask. The mask hides his face, leaving only the shape of his body for the police to study. Thin frame, restless movements, and a sense of someone who knows how to stay hidden. The footage spreads through the community. People hope someone will recognize him, but the disguise keeps his identity safe. To Cheryl's family, it is a painful confirmation. She has not simply gone missing. Someone else holds her card, someone who wanted her money and her silence. The mask becomes a symbol of fear. Who would cover their face this way in a small town? Who would take such risks in daylight? Police are left with more questions than answers. And while they search for clues, another woman prepares for a walk into the mountains. Meredith on the mountain. New Year's Day 2008. Meredith Emerson, a 24-year-old woman with a love for the outdoors, heads to Blood Mountain in Georgia with her black lab, Ella. She leaves a note for her roommate and plans a simple hike. The mountain is one of her favorite places, a trail she knows well. When she does not return home, concern grows quickly. Her car is found in the parking lot. but there is no sign of her. Friends and police begin searching the trails. They speak with hikers who saw her that morning. Several recall a young woman with a dog. They also remember an older man nearby, thin and scruffy, walking with a reddish dog of his own. On the trail, searchers find disturbing signs. A baton lies in the dirt, along with a leash and water bottles. The ground looks torn, as if someone struggled to break free. These clues suggest a fight took place, but Meredith is gone. Her disappearance spreads across the state. News outlets report her story, and volunteers gather to help. A community waits for answers. In the cold mountain air, the search for Meredith becomes a race against time. The red dog and the white van. As reports spread about Meredith's case, the description of the suspect begins to take shape. Witnesses recall an older man, lean, unshaven, missing teeth. He seems to drift between campsites and trails, always with a dog by his side. The animal stands out, a large red retriever mixed with long fur. Along with the dog, people remember the man driving a white Chevrolet Astro van. Several hikers say they saw him parked near trailheads in both Georgia and Florida. The details repeat: the van, the dog, the unsettling presence of a stranger who lingers too long. One caller finally connects the pieces. A man named John Tabor recognizes the description. He once employed someone who fit it exactly. That man left work after making threats and demanding money. His name, Tabor tells investigators, is Gary Michael Hilton. Police now have a name, a face, and a vehicle to watch for. The red dog, once an odd detail, becomes a key marker of his movements. The hunter who seemed invisible in the woods is suddenly visible everywhere. The chase for Hilton begins, and the urgency to find Meredith grows even sharper. Arrest and silence. Only days after Meredith vanishes, police get the break they need. A caller reports seeing a white van at a gas station near Atlanta. A red dog waits nearby. The man at the pumps matches Hilton's description exactly. Officers rush to the scene. When they arrive, Hilton does not resist. He lies flat on the ground and lets them take him into custody. His van is searched and Dandy, the red dog, is secured. But Meredith is not with him. The absence weighs on everyone there. At the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Hilton refuses to cooperate. He lies on the floor, claiming weakness and pain. Agents try to speak with him, reminding him of the missing young woman. He says little. His silence feels heavy, as if he enjoys holding back what only he knows. The search continues, but the sense of hope begins to fade. Hilton is behind bars, yet the fate of Meredith remains hidden in the shadows. The confession. After days of silence, Hilton finally begins to talk. What he reveals is more disturbing than investigators imagined. He explains how he met Meredith on the trail, how their dogs crossed paths, and how he decided she would be his target. His reason is simple and cold. He wanted her bank cards. Meredith fought back. She was trained in martial arts and she refused to give in. Hilton admits she nearly overpowered him. He describes losing control of his knife and baton and how she still would not stop resisting. Her courage slows him down, but he eventually forces her away from the trail. He keeps her alive for several days, moving from one campsite to another. He claims he treated her kindly, offering food and books, as if this could erase the violence. He even says she was calm. Investigators listen but know the truth is darker. Hilton then describes the final act. He took her deep into the forest, struck her repeatedly, and ended her life. To him, it was inevitable. To the officers in the room, it is chilling proof of a mind without mercy. The other victims. As Hilton speaks, investigators begin to see a wider pattern. Meredith was not his first victim. Weeks before she vanished, another woman disappeared in Florida. That woman was Cheryl Dunlap. Her body was later found in the woods, hidden beneath branches. She had been mutilated and left to decay. And before Cheryl, there were others. In North Carolina, an elderly couple, John and Irene Bryant, went hiking and never came home. Irene was discovered beaten to death near a trail. John was later found shot in the head, his body left deep in the forest. Their bank cards had also been used. Each case carries the same details. A remote location, a sudden disappearance, a white van parked nearby, and always the red dog was moving quietly beside him. The trail of violence stretches across state lines from Florida to Georgia to North Carolina. Hilton is no longer a drifter who raised suspicion. He is now seen as a serial killer whose path left behind broken families and communities afraid. Justice and legacy courtrooms in several states hear the stories of Hilton's crimes. In Georgia, he admits to killing Meredith and is sentenced to life in prison. In North Carolina, he faces charges for the Bryant couple. In Florida, a jury listens to the evidence in Cheryl's case. Her DNA is found in his van, and witnesses place him in the area. The verdict is swift. He is found guilty and sentenced to death. The families of the victims hold on to the memories of their loved ones. Cheryl's kindness, Meredith's courage, John and Irene's lifelong bond. Hilton's name becomes tied to fear, but their names remain tied to love. The forests where they walked will always carry their stories. The story of Gary Hilton is not only about a killer. It is about lives stolen in places meant for peace, trails where families walk and mountains where friends gather, turned into silent graves. Cheryl, Meredith, John, and Irene remind us that behind every headline is a person who laughed, cared, and dreamed. Hilton chose to hide in plain sight, smiling as he passed strangers, carrying violence within him. Evil can wear an ordinary face. As we remember the victims, we are left with one haunting question. How many times have we walked past someone like him?